Okay, so welcome back, and we're just going to go through then finding the mid-interval value. Okay, so I haven't gone exactly to this practice question. I've gone more to your test. Okay, so again, I apologize for how messy it can be. I don't have a ruler and stuff with the equipment that I'm using. So with your mid-interval values then, so please take note of this, and if you're struggling, like really ask me and stuff like that. So for the mid-interval values, you have to find the number in the middle of each of these each of these guys first. Okay, so we find the number in the middle of 0 and 10. So what you can do, I'll just do it off to the side, is you can do 0 plus 10 divided by 2, which will give me 5. But this one is actually really nice for us because you can see, I'll do it in blue actually. You can see that the number that's going to be in the middle is going to be 5. So these are going to be my mid-interval values. So I'm finding the mid-interval value between each of these intervals to help me find the mean, or to estimate the mean. So then the number in the middle, so you could add these up, so 10 plus 20 equals 30 and divide it by 2. But you can see that the number in the middle of 10 and 20 is going to be 15. The number in the middle of 20 and 30 is going to be 25. The number in the middle of 30 and 40 is going to be 35. The number in the middle of 40 and 50 is going to be 45. Again, the number in the middle of 50 and 60 is going to be 55. And the number in between 60 and 70 is going to be 65. So just be careful because sometimes I'm not too sure on your test. I think it goes up in tens. It's quite nice. But sometimes in the last test I gave you, it wasn't as nice as this one was. Okay. So then to find the mid-interval, to find the mean using these mid-interval values, we multiply the number of employees by the mid-interval value. So it's going to be 1 multiplied by 5. So it's going to be the mean, which is equal to, and as best as I can, I'll draw a really long fraction line. So it's going to be 1 multiplied by 5, so 1 times 5. So the 1 comes from here, and the 5 comes from the mid-interval value. Then we're going to add. Then it's going to be a 6 from here multiplied by 15. 6 times 15. Then we're going to add. Then it's this 12 multiplying with the mid-interval value here, which is 25. So 12 times 25. Plus the 9 multiplied by its mid-interval value, which is 35. So 9 times 35. Plus the 2 multiplying with its interval value, which is 45, so 2 times 45, plus the 1 multiplied by the 55, and the 1 multiplied by the 65. And this is going to be over the total amount, so this is a fraction, of employees. To find that, we add all these up. I've already done it, but just in case you weren't too sure, you're going to add this whole bottom line all together. So 1 plus 6 plus 12 plus 9 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1. Okay? And now we're just going to have to figure this out. Okay? So I'm going to do this out on a calculator that I just have, the top line. So this is going to be 5 plus 6 times 15 plus 12 times 25 plus 9 times 35 plus 2 times 45 is 90 plus 1 times 55 is 55 plus 1 times 65. So my top line, once I multiplied this top line all out, I got 920. And when you add all of these, 7 plus 12 plus 9 plus 4 gives you 32. Then to figure this out, 920 divided by 32 gives me 28.75. So always leave it as a decimal place unless it states in the question that they want it to one decimal place or as a whole number. I'll just check the question actually to see what it asked for. See, so in the question it didn't actually say, it said using mid-interval values find the mean salary of the employees. So it didn't actually say. I suppose the only other thing is that this is going to be, it's 28.75, but it's going to be 28,000. So you're kind of multiplying the 28.75 by 1,000 to find 28.75 multiplied by 1,000. And this will tell us the actual salary itself, which is 28,750. So they might be, I think in your example it should be fine, but sometimes examiners can be very strict and they might want this exact number. You might only get docked 1 mark in that sense. The other questions in that I'm not too bothered about, it says outline another method which you could have used to calculate the mean salary. If you just added up all the salaries and divided by 32, it would be much more accurate than using the mid-interval values. Which method is more accurate? Obviously it's going to be the adding them all up and dividing, not this one, because this is an estimate. But that's how you do that second part, and there's a question exactly like that in your test. So please make sure to look over this if you get stuck on it. Apart from that, best of luck and enjoy your weekend. See you next week. Bye.